Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Guys, I'm very excited to make this video because in this video I'm going to show you one of the highest quality clones that I've ever tried so far in my fragrance journey from the house of Wataniah, the Kayaan Classic. A quick glance at the packaging of this fragrance. It comes in this black colored box with some golden accents, dark gold accents. On the front you got the Kayaan Classic and the Wataniah, the concentration EDP, the bottle size 100 mils. On the top we got the Wataniah sort of a sign. On the back some legal information along with the production date. In this case the production date is October of 2022, and on the bottom we got pretty much nothing. The whole packaging, the whole box has this sort of a slight velvety feel to it. You open the box like this and inside sits the bottle itself. Once we take it out, this is how the bottle looks. The color of the bottle is, I don't know if you can see it in this lighting, but it has this sort of a very dark silver color to it. Again, on the front you have the Wataniah Classic, Kayaan Classic Wataniah. The cap is made out of metal. It's not very heavy, but has enough quality to it and fits very snugly, so you can pick up the bottle through the cap itself. I'll show you the sprayer in action in a second and we'll talk about the actual scent of this fragrance. But first let's get the sort of the elephant out of the room. As I said in the beginning of this video, this is a clone of another fragrance, of a designer fragrance, and the fragrance that this one clones is called the Dior Homme Intense. Now, as I said, this is super high quality clone, one of the best, if not the best clone that I've tried so far. Okay, the sprayer in action. The first spray went most on my watch. Okay, so this is the Kayaan Classic, and then on my other hand I'll spray some of the Dior Homme Intense. Of course the sprayer on the Dior Homme Intense is better. Dior are known for their great sprayers, but the Kayaan Classic sprayer is also pretty nice. Okay, so let's talk about how similar the similarities and the differences between those two fragrances. So maybe it may sound a bit surprising, but the opening of the Kayaan Classic actually feels a little bit more intense compared to the opening of Dior Homme Intense. Of course, with Dior Homme Intense you get that very nice mix of a touch of slight touch of freshness from the lavender note, and you also get that famous great iris, lipsticky powdery iris with the Dior Homme Intense, plus some sweetness from that pure note as well. With the Kayaan Classic, what I miss a little bit compared to the Dior Homme Intense is that slight freshness that you get from the lavender note in here. I don't know if this the Kayaan Classic has a lavender note, because it straight away feels like a little bit sweeter version of Dior Homme Intense. You get that pure note, you get that iris note. I think that the biggest difference here is maybe if it's missing the lavender note, or if it's there, it's slightly more faded compared to Dior Homme Intense. And also the pure note in the Kayaan Classic feels a little bit sweeter compared to the Dior Homme Intense. All in all, the opening of Kayaan Classic is like a slightly more intense, slightly sweeter version of Dior Homme Intense. Now, on the dry down, those differences pretty much remain the same. Of course, with the original Dior Homme Intense, that sweetness starts to go away on the dry down, and the iris is mixed with some ouds, some ambrette, and some ouds and some vetiver on the dry down. And I get pretty much the same thing with the Kayaan Classic, but that sweetness, that added sweetness, ramped up sweetness from the opening carries on to the dry down as well. But again, you pick up some of those ouds, some of that vetiver. It's just that the sweeter notes in the Kayaan Classic are slightly stronger compared to the Dior Homme Intense. It's almost as if the Wataniah, the perfumers there, have taken a slight sort of a lesson from the Valentino Uomo fragrances, and also Dior Homme Original, the older Dior Homme Original formula. And the Kayaan Classic has like a slightly stronger sort of a chocolatey cacao vibe to it. But all in all, if I have to put sort of a percentage on how close the Kayaan Classic is to the Dior Homme Intense, I would say is somewhere between 95 to 98%. That's how close this is. Comparing the performances of these two fragrances, the Dior Homme Intense is a very strong fragrance that's very long lasting. I usually get somewhere between 10 to 12 hours of this fragrance on my skin, whereas the Kayaan Classic is not as strong in the performance department, but still it's not a slouch either. I get usually somewhere between 8 to 9 hours out of it. So performance wise, the Dior Homme Intense is close to being called a beast mode performing fragrance, whereas the Kayaan Classic is sort of a strong performing fragrance. Price wise, I paid the equivalent of roughly around about $40 for the Kayaan Classic, which makes it around about 3 times cheaper compared to the Dior Homme Intense. So the price tag of this fragrance, considering the whole scent profile, how close it is to the original, and the performance, I think is pretty good. Next, Versatility. And who is this for? Versatility wise, this fragrance I think covers pretty much the same usage scenarios like with the original Dior Homme Intense. This is a scent that's orientated more towards the colder months of the year and more towards nighttime. It's also, like with the original Dior Homme Intense, more of a like a dressed up type of a fragrance. Who is this for? If you like the Dior Homme Original, Dior Homme Intense, or Dior Homme Parfum scent DNAs, also things like Valentino Uomo and Valentino Uomo Intense, then I think the Kayaan Classic should definitely be checked out. And at the end, my final thoughts about an honest opinion about the Kayaan Classic from Wataniah. As I said in the beginning of this video, this is one of the best and highest quality clones that I've ever tried in my fragrance journey so far. I love this fragrance for 2 reasons. First of all, as I said, it's super high quality and it's very close to the original, to the thing that it tries to copy or emulate the Dior Homme Intense. And the second reason is of course because the Dior Homme Intense Parfum and Dior Homme Original, that scent DNA, is my favorite of all time. So guys, in today's video I showed you the Kayaan Classic from the house of Wataniah, a fragrance that really impressed me a lot. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, stay safe, and I hope I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye bye.